If I can find joy and happiness and purpose after losing 3 children and my husband, so can you. Don't be put off by the passion of that statement. I am not in any way minimizing your pain. I am just saying that if I can learn to find purpose in my pain, I know that you can find purpose in yours. Someone said to me recently, "Oh, you must be cut from a different thread. You are just strong." No. Yes, I have grit and resilience, but only because I had things that I had to learn how to work through. Can you imagine losing 3 children? I even confess in my documentary of moments of suicidality. I am not naturally this strong person. I am just real and vulnerable. And I have been through pain. And I have found purpose. That doesn't mean purpose like there's some greater purpose to your pain and somehow it's glorifying something else. I'm talking about for you, your purpose. I think part of my struggle has always been thinking that God is up there like a puppet master putting on a show and I am a victim of his narrative. That is not how I view God now. And I am able to look in and find purpose. I want you to be encouraged by my story, empowered that you too can find purpose and meaning. My name's Dr. B. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner who has been through a lot, and I'm going to share those things with you. I actually wrote a book of my story, and it's called Pain and Purpose, and we're going to go through some excerpts of that. But if you want to know how I can be your guide, click on the link below, see our programs, the things that I offer to help people find their purpose. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's actually very difficult. This first paragraph is about my son, Reggie. I heard Reggie's laughter rise above the noise of the family gathering. It floated into the kitchen where I was conversing and catching up with family. The kids were having a good time and I continued chatting until I was jolted by someone yelling, "Cristi!" in a panic. I rushed outside to the source of the scream and I saw Reggie on the floor in the throes of a grand mal seizure. He was convulsing, foaming at the mouth, and every muscle in his body had grown rigid. I hurried over and kneeled next to him, turning him onto his side. My training and experience told me what this was and what I should do, but no amount of practical knowledge could have emotionally prepared me for witnessing my child experiencing his first grand mal seizure. I did my best to suppress my alarm, asked for a cushion, and put Reggie on his side. "Call 911, I said. That is pain. To watch someone that you love suffer, the fear of losing him. My heart was broken that day and continued to break. You see, Reggie's life was 10 years of medical trauma. That was only the first of probably thousands of seizures. Multiple hospitalizations, multiple days of fearing until the day he actually died. And so how could there be meaning and purpose in that story? This is not easy. Do not be confused by my ability to tell this story that it was easy. But I can tell you the meaning and purpose in my life and that Reggie himself, he died at the age of 17. Cognitively, still the age in which he had his first seizure, probably like 6. But he had gotten so bad that he was no longer speaking. He was confined to a wheelchair. He was G-tube fed. So what is the purpose in that? Well, I'll first tell you the purpose of his life. And anyone who knew Reggie knew that he created purpose in other people's lives. We had a whole group of nurses in South Florida who proudly called themselves Reggie addicts because they had participated in a type of therapy for him. They had fallen in love with him. But more importantly, like, he gave every person he came in contact with some sort of meaning or purpose. And for me, sometimes you have to be broken down in order to expand. So in that 10 years of raising Reggie and fighting these horrible seizures, I learned so much, just medical knowledge, alternative medicine knowledge, energy work. Like, I continued to expand what I knew about the human body. I developed the Mentally Strong method. After his death, I actually started Mentally Strong, the brand and the clinic and all of the things that I'm doing today. His life had individual meaning and purpose to every person he came in contact with. But the purpose in my life was to expand and grow as a person. So you see how that's different than thinking, oh, God or the universe, or there's this spiritual master plan and I'm just a victim of that story. No, your purpose is yours. It's in you. And so Reggie's purpose in my life, in the 10 years of medical trauma and ultimately his death, I grew so much as a medical provider, more than any school could ever have taught me. That's purpose. Now, Maya. Now, I told you I lost 3 children. One was my son, John, in a drowning accident. And honestly, it was so shocking. And I was still in the midst of raising my children. And within a year, Reggie started his seizures. I didn't take the time. But I can tell you, and Reggie and Maya are my biological children, and they and their father also all died of the same neurodegenerative condition. Johnny was the brother of a 3-child sibling group that we had adopted. And I can tell you, his purpose in our life was to bring his sisters to us. I often tell the story that we were going to adopt one more child. And we were called by the Department of Children and Families, and they said, we have a boy here who needs to be adopted. We went to go pick him up, and there he was with his 2 sisters. And they said, oh, by the way, those are his 2 sisters, and they've never been separated. So Johnny's purpose in my life, I mean, we all have a purpose, but Johnny's purpose in my life was to bring his sisters into this family. And I will forever honor that. Now, Maya, I knew I was going to cry with this one, but that's okay because I'm authentic and vulnerable, and that's okay. Now, Maya, although she had the same neurodegenerative condition as her brother Reggie, she had never spent the night in the hospital. Yes, she had seizures, but she was on seizure medicine and the medicine was working. Her medicine had always worked. There was never a fear that she was about to die. This one's hard for me. When Nurse Yvetta arrived, we went into Maya's room, but planned not to wake her, pulling the covers back only to do a mini assessment. I noticed what looked like a rash on the back of her left arm, and then I saw it on her right arm. "What is that?" I asked and started to shake her. She didn't respond. I don't remember what I was thinking, but I began to panic, shaking her harder and harder. "No!" I yelled. "No!" Her CPAP was securely on her face, so surely she was still breathing. It was not obvious that she had had a seizure that night. I would have been able to tell. Yvetta said, "She's not breathing." We tried to get the pulse oximeter to work, and it seemed to be reading something. I thought I heard Yvetta's voice. "We have to do CPR." I called 911, and we pulled Maya to the floor, her body falling on the ground like a thud. I couldn't tell exactly what was happening, but we started CPR. 2 breaths, 5 compressions. I gave 2 breaths. Yvette gave 5 compressions. I was mad at the 911 operator who was telling me to calm down. Is she breathing? She asked. I wouldn't be doing CPR if she was breathing, I snipped at her. Please, please send somebody. How do you find purpose in that? That morning is trauma. And I had to come to realization to treat that as trauma. And it honestly broke me to the core. And for some people, that might mean suicidality. And I did have thoughts like that, but more of like, there's no words to explain how much this hurts. There's no words. And the journey that has happened since her death of expanding as a person has been more in the spiritual realm than with Reggie. And I have learned to connect with my children who have passed away. I feel confident in my spiritual journey and my spiritual purpose. You know, there's things that Maya has said to me as I'm going through this journey. And one of the things that she said is that Reggie's purpose was to bring you to a place, and mine is to stay with you forever. And I really feel Maya's presence. I mean, even right now, she's standing here with me. But it's not just death that can bring you to that breaking point, that core where you have to dig deep and find the hope inside of you. Purpose is at the end of the journey. You got to find some hope. That's what grit and resilience is. It's about finding that hope. Maya is a beautiful soul, and her life, her manifestation of her life was all about love. The girl loved everybody, complimented everybody. Everyone could feel her love. No judgment whatsoever. And so as I find purpose in that loss, whatever your hardship, finding hope first, then you can find purpose. Purpose is at the end of the journey. One more clip that I want to read from my story. Click the link below, email us, ask for a signed copy, or you could get on Amazon and listen to the audiobook. I was not able to read the audiobook, but my friend Camille read the audiobook and then asked me questions. So it's like a audiobook podcast. And so would love for you to listen to the audio version. But if you want a hard copy, I will sign it and send it to you. Just email us at info@mentallystrong. My reason for sharing the details of my personal journey is in the earnest hope, that word hope, that processing my story will help to heal some of my emotional pain, dissolve my initial anger at God, heal my broken heart, and allow me to say with confidence that I am mentally strong. Additionally, I deeply wish that you will be inspired and encouraged by my story. In the midst of my hardships, I learned how to develop my mental strength through processing, organizing, making positive decisions, and never giving up. I hope to help you to say, I am mentally strong. Every story has a hero, a problem, a plan, and hopefully an inspirational guide. The guide encourages a call to action that helps you avoid failure. Although I am the main character in this story, I want you to imagine yourself in your own life story, turning your pain into purpose. Get the book, continue watching Purpose.